Earlier, you made mention when you were discussing the crime situation, you made mention of the separation of powers and your respect for it. I want to ask you two questions that seem to be lingering, and it seems to be dogging the St. Lucia Labour Party as well as your government. One would be the inclusion of Richard Frederick in the cabinet, considering all that the St. Lucia Labour Party had labelled him as being a crime boss while he was a member of the United Workers' Party. I don't think you've ever really cleared that up. Can you once and for all address this issue? Is the Labour Party and your government comfortable now with who Richard Frederick is? And can you enlighten us as to whether he's no longer a crime boss as deemed by the St. Lucia Labour Party when he was an opponent? Secondly, still with the housing minister, he has on occasion on his talk show issued instructions to the police. And we have seen those instructions in some cases come to pass. Can you tell us, what is the separation of powers there? Do you tolerate this? This is something that meets with your favor? Can you give us an explanation?
Lisa, once I saw you,
please?
I knew that was a strategy discussed in the UWP boardroom. The strategy is you attack Richard Frederick and tie him on the Prime Minister. That strategy is well known, so I expect that. I mean, that's
Prime Minister, these are legitimate questions,
no,
and I hope you're not inferring what I think you're inferring.
And I'm giving you a legitimate response. I knew that discussed in the United Workers' Party's boardrooms and discussed with the surrogates and the public relations people was to attack Richard Fredericks and tie him around the Prime Minister. So what is happening this morning may be a legitimate question, but it's very coincidental. It's in the same line with the United Workers' Party attack. Let me inform you that Richard Fredericks was the same Richard Frederick that was there when the United Workers' Party were in government. The same Richard Fredericks. There is no other Richard Fredericks. Richard Fredericks was the same, and I repeat myself, it was the same Richard Fredericks who was a minister in the United Workers' Party government. It was the same Richard Fredericks who was on his show every night when the United Workers' Party were in power. The same Richard Fredericks, the same one. There's no change. At that time, the United Workers' Party and its leader never saw it fit to take any action against Richard Fredericks. Never saw it fit. If the United Workers' Party saw it not necessary or not convenient for them to accept Richard Fredericks or to take any action against him, Richard Fredericks ran elections as an independent and he won. Richard Fredericks is a member of the cabinet of the St. Lucia Labour Party. This is a fact. I'm saying to you, if at that time the United Workers' Party found nothing to take action against Richard Fredericks, this time I have seen nothing to take action against Richard Fredericks.
But the history would show that he was indeed ejected from
Richard Fredericks will tell you
following the allegations by the St.
Richard Fredericks. All right. Okay. Well, that made it easier. He's a private citizen. That made it very easier. So it made it easier, right? He was rejected. He was a private citizen. The government was in power. They had the entire state apparatus. They did him nothing. Because again, we seem to be forgetting. You see, listen, I know you've been around, not for a very long time, but you know the history. And many people know that. Richard Fredericks attacked the United Workers' Party from the time you say he was ejected until 2021. The government had the entire state apparatus. They did nothing with him. Why, at the time, when he was not clothed with any ministerial office, and when he was the same the same Richard Fredericks, making the same accusations every night on the show, why didn't the United Workers' Party take action against him?
So you're saying that they should have been the one?
So, Lisa, this is your final.
No, leave her. Lisa is okay. Don't protect Lisa. I can talk to her. When you see, let me tell you why I can speak bold like that. I have nothing. I have no skin in the game. I have no skin in the game. My life is very simple and clear. I have no skin in the game, so I can speak boldly. I can speak out. A lot of people tell me sometimes I speak too much to you all, but I can speak boldly because I have no skin in the game. I have nothing. What I'm saying to you is that the United Workers' Party took no action against Richard Frederick. That's a fact. They took no action against him, but they want me to take action against him, and they were there before me.
So you no longer believe the things that the SLP said back then?
I am saying that the United politicians say a lot of things. The United Workers' Party also accused them, and they did nothing with him. You know, that's not the first time Jeff get accused. You know, they are pretending like Richard Fredericks came down from somewhere. I wouldn't say it was heaven or hell. That's what they are. All in a sudden, they made Richard Fredericks a topic. All in a sudden, you know, this is crazy. This is the guy who was on the United Workers' Party platform with John Compton. When he came on the platform, Compton said, the United Workers' Party supporters said, we want him. Compton said, you want him, I will give him to you. That's the history. Ask Rick, my friend. Ask him. He knows that. Compton said, you want him, I will give him to you. Richard Fredericks was single-handedly the biggest critic of the Labour Party between the years 2002 and 2006. Richard Fredericks led the campaign that made the present Prime Minister Minister of Tourism by appointment. That's the same Richard Fredericks by appointment. The present political leader. You know, so it's that history. And you know, and that's history. That's the same Richard Fredericks, you know, the same one. That suddenly they want me to do what they did not do from 2006 to 2021. Right. And that's when they had that, they did nothing with him. But suddenly he's just become the person that Philip J. Pierre must do something. I'm saying to you, if there is any evidence that any of my ministers is involved in criminal activity, I will take action. I've said so before, so many times before, and I look at you as a journalist I respect and tell you frontally, if there is any evidence that any of my ministers are involved in criminal activity, I will take the necessary action.